Yes, sir. Hit y'all with one more before I go to Berserk. Boom. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Stills, and this is another edition of Kicks with Soul, where the slogan is, every shoe is just a shoe until you put your soul into it. And today, we got track number 6 going on. We moving on. We almost to the end of this first volume 1, man. How we doing? How y'all think I'm doing so far? How we doing? But anyway, we're going to keep it going. Track number 6 is none other than Adidas Top 10 2000. Don't know why they call it a 2000 because the shoe was from the 90s, but we just going with the flow. Excuse me for my mouth being swollen. It's had a teeth pulled, so you know I got these antibiotics cooking up, so a little puffy, but it does not stop the show. And I'm actually on my way to work, so I said why not drop a little freestyle before I go to work? Because y'all know me, I don't get on here and do a whole bunch of research. I talk about what the shoe means to me because if it was there, as far as these, I was there. We just gonna kick it now. My introduction to this shoe was Kobe Bryant. He did a website, not his first little commercial when it was raining out there in LA. And he was like, oh man, it's raining. Y'all still don't want to play. And he went out there and he started playing on the blacktop. That was these. That was the, I guess like a navy blue colorway. But they also had Team Adidas. And Team Adidas, they had a couple guys that was promoting this shoe. It was not their signature. Now, the year was 1996, going on 1997. I was watching the NBA Finals, and voila, I see a commercial. And who is it? None other than Deadlift Shrimp, a.k.a. the Grand Touran, a.k.a. German Assassin, a.k.a. my man from overseas, you know what I'm saying? And Deadlift, I didn't really know who he was. Now, the name was so crazy and cool, so I'm like, Deadlift. I like that name. But if I remember correctly, I think it was like a sniper assassin type of commercial, but he was kind of like, I got 3 ways to score on you, like a triple threat. You know, I can pass it, I can go over you, I can go around you, and basically you can't mess with him. So when the game came back on, I started kind of paying attention to that guy because I know he was in the Seattle Supersonics uniform. So I'm like, okay, let me pay attention to him. And boy, he can ball, man. He can ball. He was out there giving dentists that work. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got Jordan and stuff. But, man, he was all right. You know what I'm saying? I think he went to a couple All-Star games with Seattle Supersonics. Maybe won a 6-man with Indiana. And he was also a great part of coming off the bench with the Portland team, the Jailblazers, as y'all like to say. You know, Brian Grant, Wallace, you know, Ruben Patterson, Pippen, Damon Stoudemire, and all them boys. But excuse the sirens. But yo, this shoe right here was actually supposed to be a team's, excuse the lamb, fire people. This shoe was supposed to actually be a team edition. Even on Nike, sorry about that. Even on Adidas website, when I found this shoe on the website maybe 2 years ago, it had the number 11 on it. But when it got to me, it didn't have the number 11 on it. Adidas, you got me, man. You got me. Even though I kind of still like the shoe, but I wanted that deadlift because I wanted the shirt. I wanted the jersey to go with it, to memorize, to have that memory of me even learning about this shoe. So y'all know me. I love when a commercial or Sports Illustrated for Kids or Slam Magazine, Kicks, anything like that, that's what grabbed my attention because we didn't have the guys that had all the newer shoes that show us and give us the 360 views and stuff. We didn't have those influencers back in the day. We had the commercials, we had the players, and we had ESPN, and we had trading. Well, I had trading cards because I used to trade, so it's like a still picture, you know what I'm saying? And this one right here is so 90s. Even when you just look at the technology of this shoe, it's just from the crazy 8 bottom to the crazy man in the back to Adidas all over on the strap to the Adidas coming up right there on the logo. The nice 2-tone color stitched in, Adidas at the tongue, that nice bubble at the back. I just thought it was a great shoe. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say, who was number 4? They had a number 4 blue one too. I want to say maybe that was Parsons from Cleveland Cavaliers when they had that black and blue colorway, because I don't remember another number 4 blue Adidas. I know Parson was Adidas because I remember him, Kobe, and Deadlift on a couple little pictures and stuff. But anyway, let's keep it going. And then the reason why I say I really paid attention, because, oh, it's funny, I even got this shoe on going to work. This the shoe I was following. Even this shoe, because I think he even played in this shoe in that finals. So if we did actually ever see this shoe on person, you might have seen it in that finals. This is my favorite Jordan of all time, not even question. But I was following this shoe. I was following Pippen, what Pippen had on his feet, and he had on the up-tempo 96 joints. Pippen had these joints on. Pippen had these, and Detlef had these. The glove had his joints on. Rain Man had his joints on, and then Rodman had his joints on. Tell me I wasn't there if you want to, man. Because listen, I remember every one of them boys that had, then Hershey used to wear like some Converses or something. Like, he used to have some ugly looking shoes on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, them boys was out there stepping in that finals, man. They had some heat. And so all the pictures, all the posters you see from that finals, that's what you see, man. You see, like, that's why I wanted this shoe so bad. It was that year, and plus that finals, you know what I mean? Especially, I got a poster with him dunking. He was on the fast break like this, and you see everybody just looking like Hershey Hawkins, and everybody like, and Pippen just throwing it down. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if my man made it to the Hall of Fame far as over here. I don't think he was that worthy, but he played a little later. Like, for some reason back in the day, they didn't trust coming overseas to America too fast, so they came a little later. So if you know my guy, what's his name, Petrovic, from over there, that was giving Michael Jordan that work before that car crash, man. Major left-hand three-point shooter. He was coming. You had Vlade Divac came a little later. He was already good over there. Detlef Shrimp was already good over there. And Arvydas Sabonis and Vlade, like I think I said Vlade, but Arvydas Sabonis. All these guys I'm naming were already like Jordan type guys over there. So they just came over here to see. Tony Kukoc was another one. But Tony came a little young because Tony was already like 18, 17, 18, 19, but he was already playing professional for a couple years over there. So when they went to that 92 Olympics and Jordan and Pippen found out that they were playing them boys and they had that rights to that kid over there, they made it hard on him, man. They made it hard on Tony Kukoc, yo. Like, they made it hard on him, you know what I'm saying? So that was another introduction to the overseas players, man. And my guy, Detlef, he used to hit you with this triple threat. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of how his game was, like, trying to put, like, if you could pit a player now to match his game off the top, somebody now, there got to be about 6'10". Let me go with Evan Mobley. You know what I'm saying? I think Evan taxed the rim a little more harder, but Detlef used to dunk on you too. You know what I'm saying? He had that little one, bing, you know what I'm saying, and catch alleys. But I think Evan got more alley-oop skills and probably more bendable, a little more agility than him, but they game is matching. He had good defense. He can play on the perimeter. He can put the ball down, and he can pass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I liked about him. So just a funny fact, man. I used to go outside and play after this year, so 96, 97, 98, and on. I used to say, like, Detlef, you know what I mean? When I used to do the nice little triple threat, just like how we used to be like Jordan or Kobe, or hit person with a Iverson, you know what I'm saying? Or if you caught somebody in football, we said Moss. Me, I used to hit people with the Detlef, you know what I mean? If I hit it with a triple threat, like a boom, and then shot it, and I ain't even put the ball on the ground, I would say it mellow now, but back then I was saying Detlef, you know what I mean? People was like, what? You know what I mean? Even like something funny else. Remember how if I didn't dunk, I couldn't dunk like that. I could catch alleys, but I couldn't really like dunk on people. So me going to the lane, how about this? Y'all remember when we used to slap boards on people? Like, slap boards if you was a point guard, or even just slapping boards on somebody, like, slap boards. And that's what I used to say. If I went to the lane, boom, 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 slap boards. And also, if I hit you with like a reverse, being that I'm from Buffalo, one of our icons in basketball is Bob McAdoo, you know what I'm saying? Buffalo Braves, you know what I'm saying, before they took us to the Clippers, you know what I mean? But my man Bob McAdoo, I used to come up and be like, oh, Bob McAdoo. I don't know, I just used to be super creative on the court, man. Just niggas used to be mad at me. But Detlef, and I probably ain't even saying his name right, but I was a kid and that name just, Detlef, you know what I mean? Shrimp, you know what I mean? So that's why I always respect Bud. And I think, you know, just for the culture, I think it's just give him a little bit of points and props because he was around, and he you know what I mean? I like what he brought to the table. Wish this was a signature shoe, but I brung this in to the top. I brought this in for the first volume simply because I wanted you guys to understand the first volume is strictly the soundtrack to my life. So the first volume, I want shoes that meant something to me, have a story, or I have some kind of, you know, connection. And this was my connection to this shoe, the 1996 NBA Finals, because I fell in love with this Jordan at that time, but I also seen this commercial. So when I seen this shoe came out 2-3 years ago, it was a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got for y'all. We're going to keep them going. Be prepared for track number 7 because we're going to drop that probably tomorrow. And let me get my butt to work. And hope y'all have a great day. It's your boy Stills with Kicks with Soul, where the slogan is, every shoe is just a shoe until you put your soul into it. Peace.